welcome to Woodshop 101, a woodworking audio podcast geared toward the hobby weekend woodworker. Your hosts for the show are Jeremy Crawford and Drew Shore. Join these two different craftsmen for a lighthearted banter about everything woodworking, online education, and how they produce content. Topics could include the latest news, tips, tricks, and designs, to include furniture, crafts, and shop projects.
Welcome to episode number 39. Today we're going to talk about table saw vibration, selling your items, and the use of pallet wood. What's going on tonight, guys?
Not a lot, just getting ready for...
and gals.
Hey, I was first.
You're the gal.
Well, she was looking at me like, I'm not going to answer until you tell me correctly. Yeah, so what's going on, Drew?
I just got back from taking my daughter to open house for her kindergarten class. She's going to be starting kindergarten this fall, so my wife and I are my wife would say she's verklempt, just cut the furs, stuff like that. But it's kind of strange. She turned 5 in March, so we're having to take her to kindergarten now. That's crazy.
March what?
21st. They actually share a birthday, my wife and my daughter.
That's so cool.
They're exactly 30 years apart.
That's so funny. Well, what's up with me? I'm just always tired. That's about it. Nothing new. Just want to go to bed all day long. I don't know. What about you, Jeremy?
Tired. Extremely tired. After those last 2 weeks of working on that porch build, now I'm just like going to see the kids and the wife this weekend. The last 2 days I've had like no energy. I've literally, since I've been off work today, have laid on the couch and not gotten up.
That kind of sounds like the best afternoon ever, though.
It is, but when I'm getting ready to close shop, in the next few weeks, and I got so many other projects that I want to get done before I leave, it's kind of hard, I guess.
I was about to say, are you going to come up with that word anytime soon?
No, probably not.
He's too tired.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of...
But, yeah, you guys got anything interesting going on in your shop? Drew, yours is a mess, and I'm quite surprised.
Whoa! First of all, the camera's not even pointed that direction.
That's because you showed us already.
Yes, you're right. It is a little bit of a mess. It's just my assembly table, though. We had a garage sale not too long ago, so a lot of the things that didn't pertain to the sale or pertain to my shop or did whatever, it was kind of my dumping ground, and that's kind of what's sitting on my assembly table right now. I've got to get it clean because this week I start a new project, so I'm going to need the space to get it done.
No insight on what that project's going to be?
Oh, well, I didn't know you were curious about it. So.
Well, yeah.
Glad you asked.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's fortunate.
I mean, your listeners are going to be listening about a few days late, so.
Yeah, that's true. It will be because it'll come out Sunday. It's going to be the sliding dovetail miter frame, finally. I've had to put it off a little bit, but I did another joint video here recently on a new joint, and some people were asking me if I skipped a video. I was like, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, because a lot of people are really interested in how that fourth corner is going to come together.
It's not that hard. I mean, once I put it together on SketchUp, it just kind of clicked. Because before I was like, how am I going to do this? But some people were telling me that the frame is going to be exactly squared. It has to be all four sides all the same, and that's not true. If you just put two sides together like an L, no matter how long this one is, how short this one is, or vice versa, you just make an L, make another L, and then slide the two together.
There you go.
So it's not going to be that difficult to put in my head.
Yeah.
Now, when I get it in the shop, it might be a little different.
That's funny that you say that because for the last 2 weeks I've been putting a frame on the back burner, and it's a simple 1 day frame. Put it together, shoot the video, and be done with it. But I've kind of put it on the back burner. That's one of the things I want to get done in the next few weeks. So, Sam, you got anything interesting? Maybe tomorrow, but if you guys are listening to this a few days ago.
I guess I could talk about that. Finally, my YouTube video is coming out tomorrow. It only took a couple of months for me to get my crap together, but it's there, and it'll be out tomorrow. So I'm really excited. It's a simple DIY project, just kind of, want to make everyone comfortable with the project, beginners, intermediate, advanced. So that'll be fun. But project-wise right now, I spent my lunch break at work going to Home Depot to pick up lumber because I want to make a planter for the backyard because I want to do a garden this summer. I have no idea how to garden. I'm a plant killer. This is probably going to be awful, but I'm going to try.
What are you going to try to grow?
I picked up tomato seeds, cucumber seeds, string beans, and snow peas. And I've read a lot of articles about how I'm supposed to do seedlings and things like that. They'll probably still die, but I really am going to make an effort.
Go to Woodworking for Mere Mortals on YouTube, Steve Ramsey, and he did a couple videos over the last few years about tomato plants.
Oh, perfect.
And because he does a tomato garden every spring. He just released his last tomato plant video, but it wasn't very informative as to like the previous year was pretty informative on how he goes through that process and what he plants and kind of how he prepares the soil and stuff. So,
well, he's
awesome.
got that home and garden for mere mortals too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that might give you some more tips in there too.
Yeah.
I hope it works.
I always call my wife the black thumb because it doesn't
That's
matter
me.
what she plants, it'll eventually die. So
Yeah.
the only thing I think that it's living is the plants in our dining room, which is kind of like our greenhouse.
Are those plastic plants?
No, definitely not. But
So,
yeah, she's good at killing stuff.
I feel her on that one. It sucks. I killed bamboo. They sit in water. I killed a bamboo plant. How does that happen?
yeah, I don't know how you kill bamboo.
They sit in water.
That's a little weird.
Oh,
So what else you got going on in your shop?
Who, me?
No,
Or Sam?
She just talked about the YouTube video. And,
Yeah, I'm
and for
I don't want
those
to
of
talk
you-
about it. I'm really scared. I'm
Okay,
really
you don't have to talk about it. I'm just going to put you on blast for a second.
no.
The listeners are listening to this on Monday, so if you go back to the previous Wednesday, which is the 10th today, or the 11th would be Wednesday, her video will be released. She can't back out now. You've already told people.
No, it's done. No, it's done. It's uploaded already. It's scheduled.
Well, there you go.
I know. I was saying, this is for whatever reason the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. I've gone skydiving. I've gone on I love roller coasters. I'm not afraid of bugs or anything, but YouTube is so scary to me. I don't know why I'm so nervous about tomorrow.
Speaking of YouTube, do you remember a few weeks back we were talking about linking to a specific time in a video?
Yes, did you finally figure it out?
Yes, I figured out how to write the URL that will link, and you can even embed a specific time. If you look at my last video, the memory box, I put a clip of the Wood Whispers, what his Gary Rogowski box down in the show notes or down in the write-up, and I only did a 2-minute clip of the entire video. It took me hours to get it figured out, but I have it figured out, and it's awesome. I'm actually probably going to write up just a little quick article for the website just so people have a quick reference, because I went to 12 different websites to figure it out. Finally got it figured out, so I'm going to try to consolidate that for other people that want to do it.
I was going to say.
You probably could have YouTubed it.
I actually did try to YouTube it, and most of the YouTube tutorials are very outdated on that method, and YouTube's just like any other software. It changes the way they write code and the way they do their URLs all the time. So,
Sorry, bad advice then.
Hey, I'm starting another sofa table.
Oh,
No,
Coffee
don't do
table.
it.
It's actually a coffee table, but it's in the same living room. I am, and it's gonna, because I'm saying this, it's gonna be done by the 18th. However,
Sure.
it will not be. It will not be recorded.
Oh, chicken.
No, it's not that. I've kind of waited a little too long to record it, and I need to just focus on getting it done. I haven't even started on it, and so that gives me 7 days to have it done. And most of those days I work until 3:30. Don't get home till 4:30. So I on top of moving and doing other projects. So look at Instagram feed for that. But this one, I'm gonna say, is not gonna fail.
You know what he did, Sam? He probably went to the recycle bin and got the sofa
Picked it
table
back
and just
up.
Cut it
hacked
down.
the legs off.
Cut it down. No, this one's actually going to be a gun concealment coffee table.
Oh, dang it! You're taking my freaking ideas.
It's another build off that I'm doing at work with some guys. So.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of doing some things like that too. Is gun concealment, because I'm kind of getting into the whole gun thing, and it's kind of funny you mentioned that too, because that's another project that I've got working is a his and her handgun case to carry back and forth from the range.
Yeah.
I've never seen one before, so I figured I would try it out.
Yeah, so I'm building it for a friend, and the design's going to be kind of cool. I'm going to do some kind of retro splayed legs on it, and then I'm going to do it where the top just kind of slides open, but it's going to use taut lock to keep it, for a magnetic lock to keep it closed. So,
what are you going to use for the release? You're going to turn something and put a magnet in it?
Yeah, that, or I'm going to incorporate it into the design so you can just pick a piece off of a detail off of the coffee table, so it doesn't look like it's there for the release. So we'll see how it goes, but that's what I'm shooting for.
Very cool.
Sounds cool.
So,
well, we have got a pretty big show. I know that you guys have seen the show notes, but we have got a lot of crap packed into this show.
Yeah, we need to start moving, because
yeah, we do. We got to get through this stuff.
People took our advice, or are begging for them to send questions and comments and feedback last week, because they sure did this week.
Yeah, they did. So each of us have a question that we're going to go through, and then KICKBACK, each of us got something that we're going to go through. So let's go ahead and get busy. I got something from Andy Lopez. He sent me a message on my website, and I believe I forwarded this to Jeremy so we can get it on the show as well. But he asked me a question. He says, hey, buddy, first of all, I really love the way you take your time and explain how you create your jigs. So my question is this. I'm your neighborly carport woodworker, and I do much, I guess that's MU.
I copied it straight from...
Okay. I think it's I do my creating under my carport, LOL. I just recently bought a Craftsman table saw that I restored back to good condition. I only paid $40 for it, and I really like it, but it has some vibration while running. I'm thinking of changing the belt to a V-belt, one that comes in links, and you adjust it by removing some links here and there. I've seen it on some YouTube videos, but in my little town, Big Spring, Texas, which is not far from Jeremy, he said it's not possible. Nobody has heard of such a thing. And anyway, what do you think of that idea? Will that help? Maybe I didn't mount the motor right. Looking forward to your idea, my friend. Stay cool. Later. Boom.
Love it.
I like the boom. That was cool. I get a lot of those when they send me emails. First of all, congrats on getting such an affordable table saw. The Craftsman table saws, especially that are older, were more well built than they are now. So I commend you on acquiring that. In relation to the motor, you had said that you didn't know if you mounted it right or not. The most important thing with the motor is just to make sure that the pulley system is in line with the pulley that is attached to your arbor. If those are in line, then vibrations will be kept down to a minimum. However, some of these old table saws, if the belts are never changed, sometimes they'll sit for long periods of time, and that belt will conform to the pulleys that they've been sitting on for Lord knows how long. So after you turn on the machine, the belt has a natural tendency to want to vibrate because it's being taken out of that position that it's been sitting in for so long. So either change the belt to just a brand new one, and keep in mind those are also stored in such a way that they're kind of, kind of oblong. They're not perfectly round to start with. So I do like the link belt. I have not put it on my table saw yet. I have seen them at places like Rockler and Woodcraft. And that would be a good start because they are more pliable and more versatile as far as tension that you can put on the on the motor and belt system. So check those three things. Make sure that your motor is in line with the pulley attached to the arbor. Make sure you have good tension on the motor to the pulley, and recommend changing the belt itself and see how that works. And the V belt or the link belt might work. So yeah, good question.
Yeah. So Big Spring, and when Drew sent me this, I wish I'd have had the time this weekend when I was back home in Odessa. So Big Spring is only about 45 minutes from where I grew up, and I would have tried to come out and help him get it lined up and make sure that it was tuned up and moving the best it can without a new belt. But don't fret. The Big Spring is small, but you can go just about any big city, and you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, your local hardware store. Most people aren't going to have heard of the V link belt. Pick up the phone, call Rockler Woodcraft, Highland Woodworking. Somewhere, Highland Woodworking, I would highly suggest, because you call that store, it's only one store, you're going to talk to somebody that works there. Rockler's got awesome customer service as well, and they will help you out and make sure you get exactly what you need, and if it will solve your problem, or at least minimize it. You're never going to solve it, especially on the older table saws. They run a little harder than your newer saws, and they're going to vibrate more, and especially as they get older, they're going to vibrate a little bit more. But yeah, like Drew said, definitely call up one of those, and they'll send you exactly what you need. Living in a little town, I grew up in Odessa, so you'll know it's just nothing but a dirt pile. You should still be able to get your saw tuned up and running just fine. And then who knows, you can educate your local hardware store people about the belt.
There you go.
So, all right, I got a question from Scott Albrecht. It says, "Hey guys and gal, just wanted to say I love your podcast. It makes the hour commute to and from work entertaining and less I can't even read
Monotonous.
Also wanted to say thanks for all the time you put into your content creation. As a father with 3 busy boys, I really appreciate the sacrifices you all make in your own busy lives to provide this content to us. Love the addition of Sam to the pod. She adds an excellent dynamic to you guys and a valued point of view." Oh, somebody's tooting your horn.
Thanks.
Would also like to throw out a possible show topic. How to go from just making things for yourself, friends, and family to making money from what you make. Commissions, flea market, Etsy, etc. I've recently started an Etsy store, however found I am lost in the fray and don't have high hopes for that working out. Anyhow, hope you all have a good week, and thanks again for all that you do. So, first of all,
that was a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for being a listener. And as far as Etsy, it's hard, especially now. It's hard to get noticed on Etsy, especially a few years ago when they started letting more manufacturers place items on there. It's hard to compete on prices. It's hard to get noticed. There's twice as many people. Manufacturers keep their prices a whole lot lower because they make a bunch of the same product. But the one tip I have for you is, in order to sell on Etsy, you need, I don't want to say a lot, but you need quite a few items on Etsy. So when somebody comes to your store, they don't just see that same item over and over and over. They have a list of items that you can see. Then they can go through and they can like it. Well, when they like one of your items or favorite it, their friends and family see that you favorited that item. Then they're like, oh, hey, I like that. I want to buy it. Or they favorite it. and that's how your shop gets spread through Etsy. It's not, you're not going to have sales right off the bat from Etsy. It's just hard because of the amount of people. However, I would say post an item on there. If you got 5 items, post 1 item a day. Don't post them all at the same time because Etsy's their algorithm kind of looks at how often is your shop posting new products. Well, if you post all your products in one day, then the algorithm says you're posting your products not as frequent as another shop. Therefore, it won't put you as high in the rankings as one of their favorited shops or their most viewed. So post an item a day, maybe post 1 every 2 or 3 days, and put a good write-up in it. Do good tag words. Make sure you include all the possible materials that you've included in it. What kind of finish? Did you use CA glue? Did you use wood glue? Put all those different kind of finishes in there because all those little things add up. So when somebody searches something brass pen or walnut cutting board, then those tag words will help your product to be seen. While you're waiting for those kind of sales to come through, look into getting into a local craft market or not necessarily flea market. People go to flea markets generally to get secondhand things or very cheap products made. You want to get into a craft market, ideally, if not get into like a farmer's market, because that's where your local people, the local communities will shop. Especially, I have one here that goes the first Saturday of every month. If you get into something like that, then you're seeing the same repeat customers. Well, your customer may not buy something this Saturday, but the next Saturday that you're there, they may see it and they're like, oh, I saw that last time, I really want to buy it. So they buy it. Or that leads into a direct commission. Hey, do you build furniture? Can you build a chair? Or can I do a custom pin? Whatever it is. There's a lot of different avenues to go. If you're wanting to strictly sell online, look at, Etsy's one, but look at your other ones. You can sell on Amazon. Again, you don't make near as much money. You can sell off of your own website. Let's see what else you put. What are some others, Sam? Do you only sell on Etsy?
Yeah, I was actually going to jump in anyway because this is a topic I like. So I've only been selling on Etsy for a little bit, but the weird thing about Etsy is that a lot of times people will write me to order something on Etsy and end up being a local order, and then we end up going outside of Etsy for that order instead of them buying it through my shop. So it has definitely helped open up my brand to a more local crowd. But I know another option now is you can do auctions or sell through Instagram as well. I don't know if Facebook has that option yet. And then there's another thing, I think it's called Handmade by Amazon. Yep. But that's the one.
Handmade's exactly, they try to target like Etsy, but it's a little harder to get into.
So I got into it. And the thing that I didn't love about it was that their margin that they take off of your profit is pretty high. I get why you're really kind of open to a very large audience of people who can purchase your goods on Amazon. However, it just kind of sucks to put your product there and then be like, oh, I made $7 off a $30 sign. That kind of defeats the purpose. Yeah. But I know that there are definitely other options. And if you're a social media person, you can, just try to put the feelers out, see how the people who are following you like your product and if they'd be interested in doing some sort of auction. That's a good bet. The other thing I just want to say is, I don't know if this is an option around your guys' parts, but here you can apply for maker fairs and craft fairs that specifically only allow people who hand make things. So sometimes you go to a craft fair and people will be bringing in dresses or jewelry that's clearly manufactured in a big plant, and then they're just putting it out and selling it for $2, and that totally sucks. But I know out here, like, you can apply for ones where they make you send, like, a portfolio, like, samples of your work, and, like, a letter stating what you do.
Yeah, so you're talking about, like, a jured versus a non-jured craft show.
Yeah.
A jured craft show is exactly what Sam said. It's an application process. You have to prove that you make that product. You have to prove that that product's coming from you. Versus a non-jured, you just pay the setup fee for your booth, and you show up and you pretty much sell whatever, whether you make it, your mom made it, you picked it up on the side of the road. And not to say that jured craft fairs, you can still upcycle, but it has to be a unique product. Mm-hmm. And jured craft shows generally only allow, depending on the size, 2 to 3 of the same type of business. So if there's already 2 or 3 other woodworkers, you have to be able to set yourself apart. I'm not just a woodworker, I am a pin maker. They may not be selling pins, you sell pins, so you get into those jured. And those are generally the better shows to go to. They're a little more costly because you have an application fee, and then you have to pay your booth rental on top of that. But they generally draw the better crowds because those who want to go pick up handmade, shop local type things. Yeah, so there's a lot of different options out there. Etsy's just one of them. The one thing, if you're going to sell online, on Etsy, on handmade, fill out that profile. Talk about the shop owner. Talk about your business. Talk about the products you use. Fill it out because you're building that relationship. And like Sam said, they may go on there and order something from you and see that you're local, because it will tell you the town that person has listed, that city that they have listed as their home city. And that may generate to local sales. Well, that local sale of that small pin or that cutting board may lead to a larger sale, because now they don't have to worry about shipping. Oh, hey, I want a dining room table. I want a chair. I want whatever it is, that they don't have to worry about shipping. Mm-hmm. So don't be discouraged. Etsy, very rarely are you an overnight success. Very rarely. Just keep posting on there. Make things, post them. And Facebook, you can sell if you're part of a local group that allows selling. So if you go to a group that has enabled the selling feature, then you can post your items on there if the group owner allows it. So, all right. Sam.
I learned so many things there that I didn't know. Now I'm like, damn it, I put everything on Etsy in one freaking day.
Yeah. No, yes. Got to spread it out.
Diversify, Sam.
Jeez. All right, let's move on, because this actually, talking about upcycling. So this question is from Kale Blaylock. Sorry if I butchered your name. I tried really hard.
She did. She said about 5 minutes before the show.
We talked about this.
All right. So Kale says, just curious on thoughts about pallet wood and if you guys think it's worth all the time invested in breaking down a pallet. I don't have a lot of money, and to me, there is more work involved, but it is free. Love the show. Thanks. Oh, pallets are my favorite topic. Okay, so quick rundown. I'm a broke grad student. I'm in a lot of debt. I don't have a lot of spending money. But the thing that really got me started with woodworking were pallet projects. Yeah, they're annoying to break down, but, big comma, there are a lot of ways that you can break them down, and it takes only a few minutes. So when I first started breaking apart pallets, I was using the hammer and crowbar method, and that sucked. It really was awful. And then I realized there are power tools in the world for a reason. And so now my method is that I will use a circular saw to just kind of cut the ends away, and then I actually invested in this tool called the duck-billed deck wrecker. It's specifically made for ripping up decking. You just place that right in the center joist, and you just pull it, and the plank comes right off. It takes me about, I would say, 3 to 5 minutes to break apart a pallet now with that method. It's not for everybody. Some people like to keep the rustic look of the screws. They'll use a Sawzall. But there are just so many methods that are available to make your life so much easier when you're breaking apart pallets. And just think, if you can find those things for free, that's free wood. And there's so much you can do with that wood. There's just a lot of potential, and I'm all about it. What do you guys think?
Oh, I agree. Pallet projects are a good way to get your feet wet in woodworking because you can acquire these things for free. You don't have to go to any stores to go get the wood. And if you have the patience to tear them apart, like you said, it's well worth the effort. I had dreams and aspirations of making hardwood flooring out of pallets.
Cool.
So I was collecting, and I was just letting it kind of get the better of me, and I had more pallets than I knew what to do with and less time to take them apart. My wife really wanted to keep the holes on both ends as well as in the center, which made my job that much more difficult. I ended up making a pallet pal from Izzy Swan's design, and the problem I found with the ends is that they're so brittle because they've been rehammered with nails over and over again, so they tend to split. And when I used the pallet jack, it would just crack them all to pieces. So it's, in my experience, using the circular saw to cut the ends off works a lot better. You're working a lot less hard just to get some salvageable wood. But there are many different types of pallets. There's oak, there's pine, there's poplar, there's
Lure.
Oh, lure. I've even seen rarely some cherry pallets, and that is very rare. Most of the time, it's white oak, and I can get those left and right whenever I go collect. So, yeah, I would definitely say invest the time. It's free wood. I mean, where else are you going to find free wood, especially in the condition of oak? And if you wanted to take on a hardwood flooring, there you go.
Yeah. The one thing I would caution you on is, yes, it may be free, but don't go just take. Ask the business. Ask the shop owner.
Steal it and run.
Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. She's going to get you in trouble. Just depends on how fast you are. But, yeah, so we're not going to advocate you steal a pallet from anybody. Sam.
Steal and run. Like it.
But... yeah, you know, most of the time there's a federal standard, and if you don't know, if it's a red or a blue wood pallet, don't even ask, don't attempt, you can't take them. It is against the federal law to take those. Those are trackable pallets. Each one of those pallets is stamped with the serial number, and it is actually tracked by the Federal Trade Commission because those generally have your higher price items, computers, TVs, anything of value, those go. And by stealing one, they're easily you're gonna pick up possibly a felony doing it. So
like, in my head, I'm like, crap, how many warrants are out for my arrest right now?
So I mean, if you weren't caught, and because it doesn't have a GPS chip in it that I know of. But yeah,
sand it down as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
What marking?
Yeah. What? I didn't see nothing.
Serial numbers.
Why does that look freshly planed? But no, I learned when I first started doing things with pallets. You know, I went to the Walmart because they had hundreds and hundreds out behind. Talked to the manager, and he educated me. I kind of thought he was blowing smoke, so I did my own research into it. And sure enough, they are tracked. He said, feel free to take any of the ones that are not painted. Just load them up, take them up. You know, so ask and really look for the thicker ones that have the thicker stringers on them, because those are generally your harder woods. The ones with real thin stringers are generally cheap pine that are going to just smash all up when you try to take them apart. The one tool that I haven't got, but I've been working with Clearview's Cyclones for a long time, and they actually came out with one called the Easy Bar Pro. Mm-hmm. And one of these days, if I get back into a lot of pallets, I'm going to pick that one up from them.
That's I think that's part of Izzy's too.
Yeah,
because it's spelled
E-I-Z-Z-Y.
Yeah, it's part of Izzy's design.
Yeah. So it's definitely worth it if you're going to take it apart to invest in one of those. Mm-hmm. But like Drew said, it's generally free, and it's you can build some pretty cool stuff with it.
The other thing is that there are some pallets that have chemical markings on them. So if you can try to identify pallets that have been heat treated rather than pressure treated or have any chemicals. I actually, last week, Aaron from MrFixitDIY.com wrote a guest post on my blog about pallet safety. So if anybody is curious and wants to know what the markings on pallets mean, you can check that out on my site, and that might help you pick out the pallets for next project as well.
Yeah, and we'll put a link to that post in the show notes as well. So
I would give a link to my blog on that, but I never wrote one. So there you go.
Winner.
Awesome.
Yeah, put a link to that, Jeremy, would you?
I will. I'll look real hard for that link.
Well, those were some good questions.
Yeah.
We appreciate all these questions, and we want more. We love these multiple topics, and I'm sure that you guys are going to be a fan of this too. So thank you guys very much for sending those questions, and keep them coming to us, please. We have had some kickback as of late, and we each got one to go over. I got one from Jim Davis here. He, I guess, had listened to our podcast about painting our projects, and he had made reference to painting pine. He said he likes to use BIN primer. I guess it's spelled that way, or bin primer by Zinger.
Yeah, it's either Zinger or Zinser. I think it's
Zinser. Yeah. Zinger or Zin? Yeah.
It's who's the company that sells the shellac in Home Depot? I think it's Zinser.
Yeah.
Zinzzer, I think is who it is.
So it's not Zinger here?
No, but I copied this right out of whatever I have.
Okay.
Whatever, guys. Poplar, whatever.
Okay.
Potato.
Sam's not offended because she doesn't speak English. She speaks New Yorker.
He said it's a white pigmented shellac, and it does a great job of hiding discoloration, including not bleed through, because that's something I was saying is the end tables that I had painted white were pine, and they have one of them has a big knot hole, so it was hard to hide. So yeah. I guess next time I paint pine, I will try that out. So thank you for that.
So, all right, Sam, you want to pronounce that name too?
This one's for Jeremy, from David Borg.
No, it's actually for both of us.
Oh. So the first part it's a two-parter. I see, you hid my name in the bottom.
No.
Okay.
I'm taking your name out right now.
He's trying to trick me. Okay. First part, Jeremy. I feel like I'm reading a chapter book. Chapter 1, Jeremy. I found that Drycon does make a similar model to your 4200H, but the replica of that is now sold under the name of Cut Tech Tools. Their website is that cute. Okay, so their website is qtechtool.com, and they sell some inserts for the AccuHead segmented cutter head in your planer. They're a bit pricey, but if you end up only needing a few, it may not be too bad. Your response, go.
No.
Go.
Oh, awesome. I hope to not have that planer long enough that I need to replace the cutter heads in there. But if I do, I did see that they took over the design of the Steel City bench top planer and bench top joiner. So
you're saying bench, right?
Bench? Are you deaf? Do you need to clean those ears out?
I'm sorry, it just sounded different.
Oh, it did?
Sounded like there's a letter missing.
Maybe there was. Maybe I'm mad at Steel City for going out of business, and after I already bought one of their tools. And Drew knows about my OCD. All my tools got to match.
They got to match.
I'm going to have to get rid of that one to get something else that matches the rest of my tools.
I feel the same way. Just looks so much nicer when all your tools match.
Yeah. Drew, your cabinets have to match.
That's right. They do have to match.
So, all right, Sam, what's the rest of your...
All right, chapter 2. Sam, if buying new, look at the Rigid 4331 or the DeWalt DW734. Oh, so 734. So this is actually about the planer. So the DeWalt is $3.99 new, but can be found for less depending on sales and such. Yeah, Jeremy, I think you sent this one to me, right?
No. I sent you the DeWalt 735 from Rockler.
Oh. I knew you sent me a DeWalt. One number off. I was close.
The 734 is just a one step down.
Yeah, I definitely need to start looking into something. It's getting a little ridiculous. I have a lot of really nice wood just like sitting around in the shed that I can't do anything with, so it's happening soon. All right, going on. Thanks, guys, for spending the time you do not have on providing info to those of us just getting started as a hobbyist. My 8-year-old son wants to start a business. That's adorable. So we are going down the path of woodworking and starting with cutting boards and such. Your podcast is one of the few he can listen to, and since he loves everything woodworking, it is nice to give him some options. Keep it up, guys.
All right, so I talked to David, and his 8-year-old son, I guess, listens to this podcast a lot. So let's give his son a shout out. His name is Mason.
Hi, Mason.
What's up, Mason?
Yeah, what's going on? Mason, don't let anything get in your way. You want to start a business? Start it. You'll succeed.
Do it.
Believe in yourself, and you will succeed.
Don't be afraid of YouTube either. Sam.
If I can do it, you can do it, because I'm really scared. So.
You need to, Mason, you need to send, God, man. You need to send Sam some encouraging words. So.
And we please forgive us if we drop any cuss words. since your 8-year-old son is listening.
Yes. I promise that was bench.
Bench, yeah. Okay, well, we got another one here from Michael Tischler. He said, "Hey all, great podcast. I heard number 37 and have many suggestions for budget-conscious tool buying based on your discussion. Drew mentioned the rigid thickness planer. The DeWalt DW735 was rated by far the best of the bench top models, but with a price to match. After such research," and he even gives a link here that we'll put in the show notes, "and checking my budget, I purchased the Rigid 4331. It is an upgrade from the planer in the article. It has a chip impeller similar to DeWalt's dual blades, and many more features. Another deciding factor for this one was integrated in-feed and out-feed tables, which greatly reduced snipe. Rigid does cover this and any power tool under their lifetime warranty program as long as you register the tool online and send in the UPC and receipt for proof of purchase. So keep that in mind. I did not know about the lifetime warranty business, but apparently it is covered as long as you register it. It said, and their battery power tools have a lifetime battery replacement for registered tools. My first job using the thickness planer was running 250 board feet of yellow pine to build counters for a pizzeria in my area. Great results using that. One place that I really like to check out for tools are pawn shops. Here in Tampa Bay, there are a lot of pawn shops to check out. I purchased a table saw and got a great deal. I purchased a cordless drill driver as well as other power and air tools. Many times, the tools are barely used. Many tools from Craftsman are branded from other manufacturers, and I purchased the Craftsman 10-inch bandsaw, which is actually a Rikon 10305. So check out to see if the tools are just branded by Craftsman. One other place I check out is bigskytool.com, and we'll leave a link for that as well. Factory reconditioned tools at great prices. I purchased a 4-gallon Hitachi air compressor for $89 and an 18-volt Hitachi lithium power drill for $69. Highly recommend them. If any of you are in the Tampa Bay area, give me a shout out. You can come into my shop, and maybe we could collab on some videos. I like that invitation.
There you go.
Me too.
All right, we're all coming to Tampa Bay next week. You better be ready for us.
Wait a minute. He said somebody said we didn't have time to do all this stuff, so I don't know if I got the time to do that.
I have the time. I make the time.
I make time.
Sam doesn't have time. She's got a coloring book to mess with.
Yeah, don't
That's
hate on
true.
my coloring book. It's nice and full this week, too.
But she makes time because she can erase it all. Like, hey, look, I got free time now.
It's in pen. It ain't getting erased.
There's no
and it looks
erasing
too pretty to white it out, so no.
Okay, so just rip the page out and be like, all right, I'm starting over. So, all right. Yeah, 250 board feet. is pretty
That's
substantial.
a crash load.
Yeah. What pizzeria? Tell us what pizzeria, because I'm hungry. I'm really hungry for pizza right now.
If we use your name, do we get free pizza?
Exactly.
That's what I want to know.
Say, I know the guy that made this countertop.
All right, so
Free pizza.
So, Sam, that's 2 people that have recommended the Rigid 4331, and that is 2 people that have recommended the DeWalt 735.
Gonna have to flip a coin.
Well, it really comes down to price. One's,
Yeah, there you go.
One's $700, and the Versus, I think the other is about $300 or $400. So,
Yeah, well, for someone who's on that pallet jam, I think I'm gonna have to go for the cheaper one.
there you go. That Craftsman bandsaw he's talking about, I actually have the Rikon, the 10305, and it is awesome. If y'all don't have it, it's super cheap. It's like $190, and man, that thing is a powerful little bandsaw. So just go pick one up, Drew, because I have yet to see you use your new bandsaw.
It's right here.
Have you used
calling
it?
you out.
Have you used it?
It's right here. No, mainly because I got to make a mobile base for it so I can wheel it to the area that I need to plug it in. Because I can only put a plug in one area, and I can only store the saw in one area. So I've got to make that mobile base for it so I can move it around. So it's right here.
You should just buy the mobile base, because by the time you make it, you could have already bought it and had it moving around.
True.
Shop Fox makes a good mobile base.
Well, Rockler sent me one too, and I just got to make the little pieces that go in it.
Wow. Well, looky there. Rockler, you need to get on top of him. He needs to use a bandsaw.
I think it's up in the cabinet up there somewhere.
So, all right, well, let's talk about some product recommendations.
Well, you just recommended like 10 of them in that conversation.
Well, I did, but I have one more specific to today's show. Sam, what are you going to recommend?
I just got my hands on the Craig K5 pocket hole jig, but the master system. It has made my life 1,000 times easier. I was using that little junior guy and would have to pick him up and clamp him on, pick him up and clamp him on, and it was getting really tedious. But now I'm using the K5, and it has just made drilling pocket holes a lot easier. It has a really nice adjustment clamp where you can just kind of put the piece in, unclamp it, flip the piece around, and it just makes life super easy. So I suggest that if you have the smaller unit, definitely look into investing into the larger unit. It will just, the time alone that it will save you will be worth it. But that's my recommendation. So what about you guys?
Jeremy, why don't you go, because my wife just showed up, so she's going to have to open the door. Where did Jeremy go?
Yeah, I don't...
He just left.
Wait a minute.
Well, I'll go ahead and make my recommendation then.
Can you get me now?
The door's open.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Cutting out. Cutting out.
But my recommendation is going to be for the Biesmeyer 52-inch T-Glide fence system. I have had many questions from my viewers as to the fence that I installed on my table saw cabinet. I bought the fence from a place called Witten Supply here in Oklahoma City, but the fence is actually made by Delta Machinery. You can actually buy it with the Delta name on it or the Biesmeyer name on it. I purchased the 52-inch aside from the 31-inch, mainly because most cabinets, whenever I cut the lower cabinet base, it is going to be way too long in order to accommodate that 31-inch fence, so I usually have to cut the waist off on the fence side, which I really don't like to do. So I upgraded the fence to a longer fence. That way I could make as many cuts as I want on the fence side without having to cut the waist side off. So that is my recommendation. I would just go to deltamachinery.com and check out their options. There are many to be had there, and I love this fence. Even if you don't have a Delta table saw, if you have a cabinet similar to mine or even a countertop like mine, you can bolt the fence straight to the countertop and not the saw itself, as long as the saw is bolted to the cabinet that you have the countertop mounted on. If everything aligns right, then you can mount it that way. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the saw, but you can make holes and tap them and mount it to the saw if you like.
Awesome. I won't put that on my saw stop, but I'll keep it in mind.
Your saw stop has 52-inch fences too.
Yeah, and I've really toyed with either the 36-inch or the 52. Just trying to justify that 52-inch. Like, what would I cut with it? But hey, I guess you always buy more than what you actually need, right? That's the way to buy things.
I do.
So
I always do.
Yeah.
But no, I mean that a lot of people have that Biesmeyer Delta fence, and it looks like it holds up really well. Does it keeps 90 pretty good?
Oh yeah, I rarely have to readjust the 90. Sometimes I'll do some TLC on my saw, and I will check all of that and maybe just readjust it again. Even though it doesn't need it, I will still go ahead and make sure that it's to the specs that I want it to be whenever I do the overhaul on my table saw. So
yeah, all right.
But yeah, I rarely have to touch it.
That's awesome. All right, so I'm going to recommend a product / service with this huge sticker craze going on right now. I purchased stickers from Sticker Mule, and their service has been top notch. They're a little more expensive than, say, like Vistaprint or somewhere like that, but the quality of the sticker is a lot better. It's a very thick vinyl. The printing on it is top notch. I have, out of all the ones, I actually went through my whole box of 200 or something, and none of them were messed up. So I recommend, if you're going to get into the sticker craze, spend a little more, get the Sticker Mule stickers, because they're awesome. And I'm actually going to include the link in the show notes. Click on that link, and if you sign up using that link, you will get $10 off of your first order. So
Very nice.
Guess I'm ordering stickers tonight.
you need to order stickers tonight.
I don't know why I don't have any yet. I mean, I get stickers from so many awesome people, and then I'm like, I don't have anything to give you. I'm sorry.
You need to order stickers. And
High five.
especially because you can sell them on your website for $2 a piece for people that don't want to or don't have stickers to trade.
Oh, you're saying I'm supposed to be paying all these people $2 for stickers that they're sending me? I'm sorry, guys.
No. Not if they're sending them to you. But say you don't have stickers and you're like, oh, hey, I really want Drew's sticker. I don't have anything to send him. Instead of saying, hey, Drew, can you send me a free sticker? He sells them on his website for $1 or $2 or whatever. So that's a way to potentially bring in just a small amount of income, or join a larger community in the sticker swap. And it just, I thought it would die out after a few months, and it has been going strong for well over a year now.
Yeah, you can thank Nick Ferry for that.
Nick Ferry and Jay Bates.
I think Nick sent Jay one, and then it just kind of took off from there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Sticker swap, love
I've
child.
got a whole lot of stickers in my kitchen right now that I've got to return. Oh gosh, I'm so embarrassed too, because I sent I think 4 stickers back to people, and I forgot to put the frickin' postage on there. So I had 3 envelopes returned, and somehow 1 made it through.
Nice.
Well, they felt sorry for you. Look what I got. I got one of these stickers.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DAP sticker. Now, I'm sitting here looking at my office drawer, and I probably have 20 stickers that I need. The shop cabinets that are in my shop now, I am going to sell before I move. So I don't want to put them on anything until I get a more permanent location for them. And it's kind of sad because I have some pretty cool stickers on there now that I'm going to lose. So...
something you were talking about, the Sticker Mule too. Southern Ginger actually posted a couple of Instagram photos. He had actually ordered some stickers for himself, and the color on the stickers was not to his liking. And Sticker Mule immediately turned around and made him another batch of stickers without charging, and got the color right and sent him more.
Cool.
Yeah, the turnaround time was way above notch, because I think they initially said It was a 5-day design process. So once I submit my design, they'll send me a proof within like 5 days or something. And then it'll take 2 weeks for them to print and ship. I had them in hand within 7 days. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so they well exceeded their guideline or what they tell you.
Oh yeah.
So and I mean, hey, getting $10 off your first order is definitely benefit. However, I get $10 as well. So go to Sticker Mule.
Oh well, I ain't gonna do it now. If that benefits.
I mean, it could potentially benefit the podcast in the future.
Oh, okay. Well, you should have plugged it that way. That's different.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I got a pretty good standing with Sticker Mule. In fact, I've talked to them quite a bit back and forth, and they pretty much honor. So, if you forget, say you go, you order, and you forget to use that code or that link, you just send them a quick email and say, "Hey, here's the link. I forgot to use this. I'm terribly sorry." They'll credit both accounts. And thanks to Todd Clippinger for kind of pointing that out to me, because I was going to use his link. I signed up, and then I was like, "Well, where's my $10 credit?" And I was like, "What's going on?" And then I started doing more research, and you have to use their link. There's not a promotion code. And I emailed them, and sure enough, they were right away. They're like, "Oh yeah, we'll do it." And within probably 30 minutes of me sending that email, I already had that credit in the account. So
good customer service, very nice.
And so anybody can do it. Once you sign up for an account, everybody becomes an affiliate of Sticker Mule. So as soon as you sign up, you can start sharing your links or post the banner on your website or whatever. People can go click on it, and you start earning $10, and they start getting $10. So.
Okay, Sam, we're going to have product recommendations for the next 2 weeks. So I take it next week. I'll sign up, and then you can take it the week after.
I know. I'm like thinking like, why? Damn it. Like, I want a link to Sticker Mule on this thing so people can get me $10 too.
Well, that's not going to happen. I'll include your link next week as long as you go use my link this week.
I like it. I really do need to get stickers, and I have a new logo now, so...
Yeah, it's a fancy logo.
Wasn't it nice?
Yeah, you need some stickers for that.
I think so, too.
I think all of you should send Kickback saying you want a sticker from Sam.
Yeah. We'll be doing sticker swaps very soon.
Yeah,
he's like, me.
Hey, you got a sticker on the way. I sent it. In fact, the post office refused to pick up my package for like 3 days, and they finally picked it up yesterday. So you got. It was because they usually come to my shop and pick up a package almost freaking every day. I'm always sending something. So you got a sticker coming, and you better have already gotten one.
For you?
Yeah. If you didn't, you better call the postman. Because I sent that thing like 3 weeks ago.
How do you call the postman? Do you have his number in your cell phone?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, postman, what's up?
Yeah, it's my dad.
Cheater.
Oh, well, that makes it easy.
No,
I think if you recently sent that, I've probably got it in the kitchen right now. Did you send me 2 of them?
Sure. I don't know.
You don't know.
See,
I think I've got it in there.
I sent it like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
So
I feel bad because I haven't responded to anybody with the stickers they sent me.
I know. I finally responded yesterday with a few of them. So, but you have if you're getting into it, you have to be willing to get into it because it can get expensive. I mean, when you're going through sticker stamps left and right, like it gets pretty expensive. So,
yep.
And stamps only keep going up.
We're gonna have to do a tutorial on one of our blogs and like DIY stickers so you can like send each other PDF formats of stickers and print them out yourself.
Yeah. Print out your own sticker.
Someone's gonna steal that idea and like take off, run with it. It's gonna be
somebody's about to make a killing off of that. So.
But alright, so if you guys love this show and you'd like to support what we're doing, you can head over to woodshop101podcast.com/listen, find the show notes, click on Jeremy's fancy kickback link for the day. See our notes and all of our product recommendations, and there will be links there for small one-time donations to help fuel our fire on this side of the podcast. And if you listen to the show on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. We will love you forever. It helps us reach a greater audience when we have higher ratings. And you guys seem to like what we're doing. We like what we're doing. So let's get other people to like what we're doing.
Yeah, and if y'all couldn't hear me earlier, it's because my power's starting to go out because I can't pay the power bill because I'm not getting paid for this. So
I'm playing my violin.
Well, I think your lights are going to end up going out tonight because you need to pay your power bill too. You know, this hour that we're doing is
this is
sucking
expensive.
up all the power for the whole month.
You didn't have your Starbucks today, I hope. You can afford your power.
I can only afford a water bottle today.
Have you done the happy hour at all?
No.
I'm disappointed.
It's better that way. If I had like 6 supposedly 1 frappuccino is equivalent to like 2 meals per day.
Good.
Not that I count calories because I love eating, but I thought that was pretty gross when I found that out.
Yeah,
no, that makes it even more delicious. Even more delicious.
It's not a frappuccino cleanse.
Exactly. I mean, it's the caffeine, so it's gonna go through you. So.
Well, guys, if you would like to contact us or us individually, there are many ways to get that done. We each have our own websites with fancy contact pages. Jeremy has the countrysideworkshop.com. I myself have rhwoodshop.com. And Sam is the DIYhuntress.com. Is it the or just DIY?
Just DIY Huntress. Don't do the. You won't get to my website.
DIYhuntress.com.
Well, maybe you should go get that link.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just go buy everything that has Huntress in it.
But it has to say the on it because you're the DIY Huntress.
The DIY Huntress.
But each of us have contact pages on our websites, and there are fancy little forms that you can fill out that's easy to send. And I am generally very quick at responding. From what I gather, Sam is too. Jeremy, on the other hand, might take a few days. But
it just depends. If I'm on vacation, you can pretty much guess I'm unplugged.
Which is like every week, so.
I wish it was every week. In fact,
if he's not building a porch, he's on vacation.
Look, I've been on Instagram pretty much this entire time that we've been going. So,
that's rude. That's rude. You're not even paying attention to what we're saying.
I was looking at the pictures Drew posted. Drew posted pictures of us doing the podcast.
I did post pictures.
Yeah, see? So, and look, we already got feedback right here from Lemon Grove Wood Gnome talking about ripping them out. Can't wait for the next one.
There we go.
It's coming soon.
Well, crap. Now we can't put that in feedback.
Well, that's fine because we're going to get a whole bunch more.
Okay.
I have faith.
Well, if you guys would like to also contact us all at the same time and leave feedback and questions just like you have heard tonight or today, depending on when this is released, you can contact us at woodshop101podcast@gmail.com and leave us an email that way. Or you can go through the Skype email, the Skype voicemail, and we can play that on air, as well as our fancy voicemail phone number that you can dial from any line, whether it be landline or cell phone, and that is a 409-234-3959. And we would love to hear more voicemails along with these written kickback messages. So that's pretty much it. I really enjoyed this show. I loved all the feedback. I loved the questions. I hope we can get more for the next show.
Yeah.
So from Jeremy, Sam, and myself, we want to wish you guys well. Be safe in your shops, and we will talk to you on the next show. 1, 2, 3.
Boom.